So what I created here is a job aid for science teachers. It's the science state and national standards. And each one of these boxes corresponds and will send you to a link with this information on it. So the first one we'll look at is the Alabama course of study. So when you click on here, it's going to take you to the Alabama course of study for science. And if we say look at the biology page, you'll see the different standards. And if you click here for unpack content, you'll get a couple of information. You'll have the evidence of student attainment, the teacher vocab, what the students know and what the students are able to do, and what students understand. And also Alabama Science in Motion or AmSty resources. Alabama Science in Motion is for high school and AmSty is for middle school. So when we come up here and we look at the standards have two things that are really important. One of them is the verbs. So describe is one of the verbs you'll see. Identify, use, to predict. So first thing when we look at a standard, we have to look at the verb to see what the students are actually going to be doing. And that's also illustrated down here in the students are able to. They're able to describe the particles. They're able to relate atomic. So maybe when you're planning your lesson plans or making your lesson plans, you should have them actually doing these things where they're in some way identifying patterns. So you need to focus on patterns there. You need to show differentiation, how they can differentiate macromolecules. Here, where it's constructing models, maybe that's a project that they can do where they're actually using manipulatives to build something. Analyze the models. That means that they are looking deeper into it. So when you're figuring out how you're going to teach this lesson, you definitely need to look at the verbs of what the students are doing or what the action. And then the vocab. They need to know what an atom is. They need to know what a nucleus is, and they need to relate it and do something with it. The next thing on our job aid, push the back button here, is the Alabama Alternate Achievement Standard. So when you click on this, it's going to bring you to this 2019 Alabama Alternate Achievement Standard Teaching and Learning Guide. And this is just a tool for teachers to be able to better connect and help their maybe special needs students, or if students with different eye accommodations, maybe it's an IEP, maybe it's a 504. This is a tool that you can use when assisting those students. And you'll notice also when you look at the job aid, and you click here on the Alabama course of study, down here you have special education resources that are linked. And then here's the Science and Teaching Learning Guide that I pulled up prior. But there's also this live binder here. Taking a moment to load. And here's some science virtual AmSty resources that could be helpful. Tools for leveling the news ELA, which is a really good resource that helps promote reading. And when you go to News ELA, it also has different reading levels for the topic that you choose. So this could be really good when you're focusing on the apply part. You could use this when you're comparing and contrasting. But here you're doing the structure